Welcome to Great Greys, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 28th of August. Looking forward to a busy program. Nationals, of course, taking place up there at the Q2 Parklands. We'll catch up with the Shane Train Williams, see how the conditions are up there in Queensland, how Iconic Jet settled in. Unfortunately, no Jace Campbell today, but the great man Patch Adams, who'll be covering all of the action for Sky there on Saturday night, has greatly appreciated our offer and will join us there in about 10 minutes' time here on the program. We'll also hear from Neil Brown having a look at the big program at Sandown tonight. Sean Matheson won't be on the show today. He's on a plane up to Queensland as we speak for the Nationals, but he has left us with his tips, and we'll round out the program with a chat to Simon Orchard. We'll get his thoughts on all of the New South Wales Greyhounds heading up there for a tilt at the Nationals. But let's, without further ado, catch up with our great mate, the Shane Train Williams, find out how things are going up there in Queensland. Hello, Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners.
How's it all going up there?
Yeah, really well, thanks, Shorty. I'm just at the queue now, actually. And let me tell you, the facility is, I would say, Caesar's Palace of Las Vegas. It's unbelievable. Great venue, and witnessed the first race there, and was lucky enough the people that I'm staying with won the first race, so that was a good sign. And for anyone who's listening now, they've got this favourite in the next that's going to be hard to beat as well, number 4, something Scotch, so it'll be hard to beat too if anyone want to jump on that, Shorty.
Scotch on ice?
That's it, Scotch on ice.
Yeah, for Jeff Crawford. So that's in about 4 minutes, 40 seconds punted. So talk about getting the late mail, bang, right there from the train. And Jeff Crawford keen on the prospects of the Blue Runner Scotch on ice here in race number 2. The straight track. Now, first impressions are pretty good by the sounds of the facilities and the like. What's the buzz like around town? Everyone really getting excited about the Nationals there on Saturday night?
Yeah, I think it's. I haven't bumped into a lot of people yet. I only arrived late last night, Shorty, but obviously a lot of people today at the queue, up and about. Went and had a look at the Q2. It looks in good shape, and it's a new facility. It's always going to have teething problems, but really the people up here, they shouldn't be complaining. They've got a wonderful facility. $90 million spent on 3 tracks in the one complex. It's outstanding. So they should think themselves very lucky, Shorty.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Train, more importantly, how's Iconic Jet travelled up?
Yeah, he travelled really well. So we got in last night, and he hadn't lost any weight. He travelled really well, and gave him some fluids last night just to recover from the flight, and he ate up this morning. His weight's spot on, and yeah, he's looking $1 million. So we just won't do much between now and Saturday. Just go out and have a few walks around and stretch his legs, and we really need to lead on Saturday. So again, we've kept him on a bit of the fresher side. Plus, we have to throw in some travel as well. So so hopefully he can get to the front. I did notice the one dog did try quite a quick split early, so that's going to be a bit of a fly in the ointment for us. But one thing I did notice, it was sort of jumping up and down in the boxes, the one dog. So it's probably one of them ones that are going to be hit and miss if it's sort of gets the lids right at the start. So, but he's been here before, and he's been here a few times, had 2 trials and 3 races. So he just needs to spear to the front and find the front, and that's how he'll try and win the race. But I did notice he's firmed up a little bit on Tab Touch. And they probably just put that price up, Shorty, because he went, pretty ordinary the last time he was here. But I can confidently say I think he'll be a different dog this time around.
All right, so the key here is just getting that start right. Really needs to nail the jump, hoon across, and if we could get to the front, we know that the dog's running track record times and thereabouts. So that's the spot we want to see it. If you have something on a price on Iconic Jet, let's hope we see that yellow rug really spear out of the lids.
He needs to, and he can. That's the thing about him. He definitely can do it on his night. So, if he can get the start right, I no doubt in my mind he can lead. And then you never know when you're out in front in a Group 1, Shorty, it can be trouble behind. And obviously there's some really good dogs in the race and some stronger dogs and probably better dogs in him. But if you're out in front in a big race, it's where you want to be.
in your mind, is there one particular clear thread in the race? We've both been marvelling at the form that Tim Zoo's been of late. He's not a wonderful beginner, but the dog really does enjoy the racing up there in Queensland. We saw that before it returned to Victoria and continued to race really well. Probably just needs a bit of luck through that first corner, but gee, if he was landing somewhere near them, he'd be the sort of dog that would take a fair bit of holding out.
Yeah, for sure and certain. I think also Cumbria Jack's another one. He's the home track hero, so he's had the more experience on the track, and we've seen him win from some impossible positions, to be honest. He's winning the Brisbane Cup. It was outstanding. You have to see it to believe it. Obviously, it makes it a little bit difficult for him, box 6. And then the winner from the box shores, Mapunga Reward in box 2. It's got the good draw. So it's got the good, nice low draw, can sort of rail up underneath any trouble if there's any at the first turn. So a lot of chances. And I mean, the Adelaide dog tried really well, Shorty. It could be the leader if it gets the start right as well. So a lot of chances. But, as long as it's a good, clean race and everyone gets their chance, we'll be happy.
Yeah, the 30.06 win there recently at Angle Park for Mallee Beauty tells you all you need to know, that it's a really smart type. Winner 22 of 30 in its career to date. So it's a star-studded lineup. Really looking forward to it. The distance final as well. We wish all the very best to Paul Stewart and Ironworks out there in box number 7. This dog trialled really well at the new track. Yeah,
and I said to the boys on the daily that he had a box-to-box. His first trial was just a bit of a look around, and then he went and had a 600 out of the boxes. And he went 34.30, and that was, I think, going off what I've seen, is the second quickest time ever at the queue. So you take that into consideration. We've had a Trace trial 34.44, and he tried 34.30. That's nearly like 2.5 lengths quicker. One's $2.50, one's $21, and I think he's drawn out where he wants to be, Ironworks. And we know Tony Brett, Shorty, he is the master. He's seen what he's done with Elite Machine and other dogs over the years, and he always gets Jason Thompson's dog. So he is a very good trainer, can get the best out of him.
Yeah, that's the truth. Looking forward to getting right around both WA dogs and to your good self up there, Train. Enjoy the experience. It's a huge honour to be representing the state. You've earned it, and we'll be cheering hard for you, mate. Obviously, you've had a look at the form for tonight. Any winners for Mandurah, anything from the kennel and anything overall, I'll handball across and you can talk us through it.
Yeah, we'll kick it off tonight, Shorty. Race 4, number 1, Full On Frankie. Found winning form her last 2, this one. And we know, Shorty, that sub-16 at Kennington is always a one that you've got to keep an eye on. I know you're big on that. It's a wet track that night. It's a very impressive win. You throw in Sunset Viper in box 2, who wants to really shift up the track. I think Frankie gets the airport along the rail to do her thing. Winning form is good form. I think you can bring up the hat-trick. Full On Frankie, race 4, number 1.
Alrighty, that's the first play. The Red Rug in race 4, number 1. And with that... should have a really nice run in transit with that bodyguard on its outside there, drawn box number 2, using plenty of the track. Second of the plays, Train?
Just watching Q straight. The tip got up, Shorty, so number 4.
Beautiful, number 4. So Scotch on ice, live radio and live delivery for the punters to get the cash. So the Blue Rug, look at that. Geez, I tell you, it was a win too because it was smashed early. Was the ham in the sandwich in the early stages of that race. It got poleaxed. But in this, it's straight racing. Once you do get your turn, gee whiz, it's ended up with an airport down there, just down a couple of lengths off the inside rail, and has absolutely jogged in. So, well done, punters, if you joined the boy.
A little bit of pocket money for the punters there, Shorty.
Well, Train, I know that you'll need some because that particular winner, Scotch on Ice, is probably something you'll be knocking a few off of over the next little patch.
Had a few already, just quietly. Race 5, number 3, Propulsive. Is our second tip, Shorty. I like the way this fellow is going. He's won 2 of his last 4. Last start he flew the lids, gave nothing else a hope. He ran a quick 17.13 on that occasion. He's won 5 from 10 off the inside 3 draws, and he does really love racing here at Mandurah. Tough to beat, race 5, number 3. 5-3 Propulsive in the third play tonight at Mandurah. Yeah, 7-6 Tinsel Doll. I'm going to spec this little girl at odds. She's stepping up to the 488. Was very good, winning back-to-back races over the shorter trip, 3 and 4 starts back. And one of them wins, Shorty. She ran 22.42 and her run-home time was off the chart. So I think the 488 step-up will be no issue at all for her. Got a tricky draw, but if she can sort of come out and find the rail, she'll be running well at a big price each way. Race 7, number 6, Tinsel Doll to finish us off. 4-1 Full On Frankie, 5-3 Propulsive, 7-6 Tinsel Doll. Anything from the kennel or any mail for the remainder of the next few nights of chasing? No, Kennel probably going to struggle over the weekend. Not really some good draws for the Kennel and over at home at Kennington, but we will have a few new ones starting the next couple of weeks, Shorty, so we can enlighten the listeners on them when we get there. And there's a dog for the Crawfords again. Obviously, it's very short. Hang on, Shorty, as a plane flies over, or a jet. Blue Blend, it's a former track record holder at the queue over the 520. It's showing up the straight today. It's too short to back, but it could nearly also go close to breaking the record as the male here on track. So it'll be something to watch and cheer. And obviously, they've been good people. I've known the Crawfords since my days in Sydney where they used to live as well. So they've been very hospitality to put me up, and they've got some very nice dogs as we just seen Scotch on Ice win there.
Well, you just make sure you keep your hands off their girl, Cindy, all right? So if you can manage to do that, then you'll manage to stay in the good books. So we wish you all the very best, Train. Have a great time up there, and we'll be catching up with you again very soon here. Go, Iconic Jet. The fact that you walked outside and the first thing we heard was a jet going over the top of your cruet. It's a sign, Train. It's a sign.
It could well be. It could well be. Now, thanks very much, Shorty, and it's been great. I've had a lot of support from home, so hopefully you can do the home state proud, and we're really looking forward to it, Shorty, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Magnificent work. Good on you, Train. Have a ripper time up there in Queensland. Go the Jet.
Thanks, mate. All the best.
There we have it. The Shane Train Williams with us here on TAB Radio, where it's now 18 minutes after 10. Matty, we're pretty clear when it comes to races, around about 20-plus minutes away from our first race through the program.
And that is at Murwillumbah, SR the code. Favourite into 195 Cavalry. Open at 235 with Tab Touch and Gavin. 3 out to 420, back into 380. And the first is in 25 minutes from now.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
We've got an absolute treat for our listeners today. Jason Patch Adams, of course, does a wonderful job promoting the sport of greyhound racing on Sky. He'll be covering all of the action on Saturday night of the National Championships up there at the Q2 Parklands. He's been good enough to spare a little bit of his time this morning with us here on Great Greys. Good morning to you, Patch. How do we find you today?
And a very good morning to you as well, Shorty. I'm well. Looking forward to getting up to the Sunshine State. And I tell you what, Shane the Train Williams doesn't mind an away trip. I'm sure he's sinking his teeth into whatever is enjoyable over the next few days. It'll be a hit-and-run mission for me on Saturday night, mate. But it's a bit gloomy and wet down here in Melbourne at the moment. So looking forward to get up there and not only enjoy the sunshine, but a few very handy races to look forward to.
Absolutely, yeah. A bit of sun on the back will be nice for you there, Patch. And we've been left with two magnificent features, the National Sprint and Distance Final. We'll kick off with the sprint. Mally Beauty, the South Aussie, draws box 1, $7.50. Mapunga Award, one of the Vics for Jeff Britton. Box 2, $3.30 on the fix. Two Girls of Tasmanian, box 3 at 41. Sooty Keeping for New South Wales, box 4, $6.50. Iconic Jet for the Train from box number 5. It's a $15 chance. Cumbria Jack for Tony Brett is absolutely flying. It's a $4.60 chance. Tim Zoo has been airborne for Jason Thompson, representing Victoria at $3.80. And Flying Zulu from the Fairy Floss, also for Jason Thompson of Victoria, an $11 chance. It is chock full of quality, this year's National Sprint Final.
Yeah, it is, Shorty. You're not wrong. I mean, year after year, there's always discussions about the worth of the Nationals and the quality of the state finals, whatever it might be, but there's no arguments, I think, this year from the quality of the races we've got in front of us, which is led by the sprint final, where, of course, the wild card's been Tim Zoo and Flying Zulu, a couple of handy ones to go into the field. But we get some good interstate representation as well and winning chances. Mally Beauty, obviously flying in South Australia. Sooty Keeping's doing her thing in New South Wales. Iconic Jet, I mean, compared to his ability, is probably over the odds. And then Cumbria Jack, who's representing Queensland, although that's a bit of a sour topic for those in New South Wales. He's dead set humming as well. So, yeah, you can't argue with the depth of this race we've got in front of us on Saturday, Shorty.
And the starts, we say so often, is the key to so much of greyhound racing, but none more so than when you've got a field of this particular quality. I just love the way Tim Zoo's been going of late, but I must say there's a lot of pace drawn underneath And just nailing that start. Mally Beauty has been going so well for Cam Butcher. I mean, almost 30 odd flat. Would have run 30.06 going back a few starts ago there. That's phenomenal. Anytime you're getting close to 30 at Angle Park, you're in rare air. Mapunga Award, we know, such a professional top liner, draws really good. Sooty Keeping's got picket fence form. Cumbria Jack, as you touched on, knows the place really well. Draws a little sticky for 7 and 8. It's set up to be really interesting because some of the dogs that are probably more favoured have drawn a little sticky out wide on the circuit.
Yeah, you're right. And there's one that I guess not a lot of people are giving much attention, and that is number 3, Two Girls, where from an ability point of view, she can't win the race, and that's why she's a $34 shot. But what we've seen her do in Tasmania is move wide on the track, particularly when she gets to the first turn. So I think at some point she's going to have an impact on some of these. So you need to be dodging her. So the likes of Tim Zoo and Flying Zulu, Cumbria Jack, who aren't necessarily greyhounds that get out as soon as the whistle blows and the lids open up, I mean, they're going to need to be right on song. So the way I'm looking at the race is one like Mally Beauty from box 1. You spoke about her form in South Australia, and we know when we have to concentrate on tracks that we aren't exactly familiar with, we get a good gauge when the good dogs go there. So over the years, we've seen some rockets go to Angle Park, which of course is Mally Beauty's home deck. The likes of Aston Rupee, Wow, She's Fast. When they've gone the trial, they've always ran around 30 seconds flat. And this is what this girl's doing most weeks over there in South Australia. So I do think she's been slightly disrespected in the market because box 1's an important thing, as you said. Speed is just as important. She's got stacks of that. Mapunga Award in box 2, as much as he is the powerhouse of this field, he doesn't get away that well normally. And then, as I said, Two Girls in box 3 moves off the track. So there's a winner out of the draw, Shorty. For me, it's absolutely Mally Beauty from the red. And combine that with the early speed she's got, and she did that, repeated it in a trial at the Q last week. And I think she's in the box seat to run a good race. Of course, the danger is whether one like Mapunga Award is right on her hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. But nice price for the South Aussie Mally Beauty, $7.50 and $2.30 on the fixed odds with Tab Touch. Sounds like that could be your each way play in the race, Patch.
Yeah, I think so for sure. I mean, we know in this Cape early speed is absolutely what you want. And for one like her who has that from a good draw, can run good time, I think she can improve on what she did in her trial at the Q and run more up to what we expect her to do, given her times in South Australia. She's definitely an each-way play from my point of view.
Absolutely. Now, for the West Aussie to win, we need Iconic Jet to just spear the lids. It really does need to come out humming. The train just alluded to the fact has kept the dog really fresh. That's traditionally when Iconic Jet has been able to show that blistering early pace. And some of its recent form has been spectacular on the clock. There at Mandurah, broke the track record at Northam over the 5:09. If it was able to get across and there was a bit of trouble behind, certainly wouldn't faint. WA have a really rich record in this particular race in recent years. We'll be hoping Iconic Jet can roll to the top and give them something to run down. Now, the distance finals are beauty as well. Box 1, Beast Royale, $51. Isabella's Blitz in $241. Ethanol Water's been a star stayer for the last 12, 18 months. Just keeps fronting up, delivering for the Vicks. It's a $3.80 chance. Lady Wilson, box 4 for New South Wales. Without a trace, probably the most exciting up-and-coming stayer in the country right now for Pete Prezzuto. For Victoria from box 5 is at $2.65. Late night news for New South Wales in box 6 is $6.50. Ironworks, who we heard from Paul Stewart earlier this morning on the Sports Daily. This greyhound's arrived in really good shape and trialled particularly well. It's one of the outsiders at $21, and Red Dirt Road draws box number 8. It's a $4.80 chance there for Queensland. And Tim Britton, another cracking race. You got the box seat here because the two key runners are both Victorians. Ethanol Water in box 3, $3.80. Been there and done it. Absolute reliable, rolled gold stayer. And the up-and-comer, without a trace, box 5. Take out that one blip on the radar 3 starts ago where it was in front going past the 700-metre boxes with, or the second time around, and just, I'm not sure exactly what happened that night, but if you take that run out, all the form around it from without a trace has been spectacular. A really, really exciting stay. How do you see this distance final, Patch?
Yeah, it's a good point you mentioned, Shorty, because in that fireball where she drifted back in the field alarmingly. You thought something was wrong. In the end, not a lot was wrong, and I'm not sure how to tackle it going forward, whether you do keep it in the back of your mind and mark her harshly for that, or whether that is just too harsh. And because it is one blip on the radar, forget about it, get on with life, because since then she's been pretty good. And I think based on the circumstances around her in this distance final on Saturday, she has to be the best winning chance, in my opinion, because the lack of early speed on her outside is stark. Late Night News is not going to get away well. Iron Works isn't one to necessarily be dynamite early, and Red Dirt Road's not going to be spearing to the front either. So for one like Without a Trace, who does have that habit and inclination to race in that middle part of the track, she's going to get every chance to do so. So we will look at the comparison between her and Ethanol Water in box 3, of course, is the biggest danger in the race. When they went punch for punch in the Victorian final, Without a Trace got ahead of Ethanol Water, and that was key, because a week prior, Without a Trace's run home was better than Ethanol Water. So I sense to look at this one in a similar situation where Without a Trace, if she's to get ahead of Ethanol Water at any stage of the race, and we've seen Ethanol Water drop back in fields of recent time, Ethanol Water won't pick her up. So the way I'm tackling this, Short, is Without a Trace should get every chance to use the track, go forward early, and if she does get ahead of Ethanol Water, I think she's just in the box seat to win it. So she's going to be one that's hard to beat from my point of view. Lady Wilson's probably the sleeping giant for mine. She hasn't exactly justified the promise and hype of which she carries, but she's been pretty good in her last couple of starts. Whether you can rely on her to do it on the big stage is the question to be answered. But I think from what we've seen from Without a Trace and her trial last week over 600 metres, where the locals say she ran home really well, that's going to be key. So Without a Trace, I think, wins the national distance at the Q this week.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I've been so excited with what we've seen from this dog. Just take that one run out there, 3 back, and everything else around it's been elite. And I love seeing the next generation of stayer emerge. It gives us something to really look forward to. And, of course, being by Houdini Boy, who we saw produce some phenomenal victories throughout the course of his career. So looking forward to seeing Without a Trace. And this is the acid test, but I think the dog's certainly up to it there on a Saturday night. Pat, you'll be covering all the action for Sky along with Liam Murray. Can't wait to tune into all the coverage there on Saturday night. And, of course, I love listening each and every week to Grey Matters that you put together with Georgie Farrugia over there on RSN. Love listening to that week in, week out. Have you got anything else for us today, or what's the best place for the punters to tune into your handiwork? Will you be on Sky again tonight doing all the action from Sandown?
Yeah, mate, I'll be on Sky tonight before every race at Sandown. If there's one there, it's probably race 2, number 2, Avengement. Now, he's short, but just thought he was all over that leader last week. He was a bit green. He didn't exactly know how to get past, but I think he gets another opportunity tonight to show us what he's made of. So race 2, number 2, the best for mine at Sandown. But as you said, before every race tonight, and then also we build up to the coverage on Saturday night at the Q, which is going to be superb.
Magnificent. Pats, really appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning here on Great Greys. We'll be tuned in on Saturday night for what will be an excellent night of chasing up there at the Q2 Parklands. All the very best, and thanks again for joining us.
No, pleasure, mate. And from your point of view, get up the WA Dogs and the Shane Train Williams. Looking forward to seeing him on Saturday night, and fingers crossed some success in the West.
Good man. Thank you, Patch. Yes, indeed. Go the Jet there on a Saturday night. Iconic Jet. We really do. Love catching up with Patch Adams. Was over in Victoria recently. Caught up with him. He's one of the absolute stars of the racing media over there in Victoria, covering the greyhounds. He's a tremendous ambassador for our sport. Brings wonderful clarity, speaks incredibly well, and great professionalism and energy. So really appreciate Patch joining us today. We will not now be too far away from catching up with Neil Brown. Of course, when it comes to National Sprint and Distance Championships, Brownie has seen most of them over the years, and he's seen lots of big wins on that particular period for Victoria. The Big V have had lots of success when it comes to the National Sprint and Distance Championships. We'll throw back to Matty for a moment. Right after that, we'll be catching up with Neil Brown, having a look at Sandown.
At Mawulumbar, NTD, this first race at 10.45. Still 195 Cavalry and 390 Gavin. 8.50 into 5 now for Son of Heroic, and out to 6.50. Megan open at $4.40. First leg of the first quaddie, almost 5,500 in. The opening race at Wagga Wagga at 5 after 11. And 3:10 into 2:20 for Machete, the SRX early next hour. That's the first leg of their first quad.
This is your home of the greyhound good oil, Great Greys.
Well, it's time to catch up with our Hall of Famer Neil Brown as we count down towards the National Championships up there at the Q2 Parklands on Saturday night. Welcome to you, Brownie.
How you going, David? Nice to hear Jason there, Sandown train boy, of course, David, wasn't he?
He sure was. He's one of the absolute stars of the racing media. He does an incredible job helping to promote our sport all over this great country, Brownie.
Yes, I'm in sunny Queensland. It's absolutely magnificent weather up here, David, in Brisbane, and looking forward to getting out to the queue on Saturday night for all the action and seeing it for the first time. But we need to find a winner or two on the way through, and that's Sandown Park tonight, David.
Indeed. Early quaddie kicks off 4:39 WA time. It's a grade 7. The valet, Jeff Clark, take us through your thoughts for the early quaddie, Brownie.
Yeah, big out, the favourite here. The 8 would have started very short. It's opened the race right up. I'm going to take 1-4-2. I think the Reds probably are the best box to these now. Well drawn there in the ones. Form solid enough. Very, very lightly raced. Had 3 runs at the Warragul track. I think it should get the money. I'm going to take 1-4-2 in race 1 on the card. Race 2, the 5:15 metre grade 6. Interesting race. I think the winner will come from the inside. I've got the 2 on top, Benjamin. I think it might be hard to beat from there. Showed some early pace in a couple of Meadows wins, and box 2 looks good tonight. So I've got it on top to beat 1 and 7. We'll take 2, 1 and 7 there. Are keen about race 2, number 2. Race 3, third leg of the early quad here, a 5:15 metre grade 5 final. These greyhounds qualified for this race. And it's a good solid race. I'm going to take 4, 1 and 7. I've got the 4 on top. Won his last 2 in pretty good time. Fastest heat winner in 29.24. So I think Mavriko might be the one to beat in race number 3. Race 4, around the early quad out to grade 5 here over the 5:15. Hard race. There's a couple of scratchings come out, the 2 and the 3 now. So I'm taking 7, 4 and 1. Big odds, the 7, but I think he might zipping Dora and might be able to get over from there. She's got a real good chance, I think. Last 2 or 3 starts have been pretty handy. A good second last start at Sandown Park, and we'll take the 4 and the 1 as well. Moving into the main quad tonight, race number 5, and we've got the 5:15 metre mixed 4th and 5th grade. Pretty good race. I think the winner will come from the inside drawn greyhounds. I made it 3, 1 and 2. Got the 3 on top. Good record here, 5 and 4 from 16. Smart win last week in 29.44. I think it's the greyhound to beat, but certainly a chance to Shapura star off the red box. Well boxed tonight. A couple of handy wins at Bendigo. And I think it's a real chance. And number 2, Poor Ultra, consistently in the money, and certainly a chance from that draw as well. So 3, 1, 2 in the first leg. Race number 6, second leg of the quaddie, 7:15 metre, 4th and 5th grade. Similar race to last week. I made it 8, 1, 3, sticking with Flying Inby. Solid win here last week in good time of 41.74. And I think it's probably the greyhound to beat. I'll take Paul Lewis off the red. Good effort, the Meadows, in its last couple of starts, winning a second there. And I'm going to give Banded Darrell, who just fell out of boxes. I was going to give him another chance. We did fancy him last week, but he just tumbled out, and he got a chance to improve. He did have those couple of really nice starts at the Meadows before last week, where he just never got into the race at all. We'll take 8, 1, 3. Race number 7, here a mixed 4th and 5th grade over the 5.95. Pretty tough race. I'm going to take 1, 3 and 4. Pretty impressed with poor Xantippe last week. It's well boxed again in the 1, same draw as last week. Just did nothing, gave nothing else a chance, went straight to the front. And I think he might be able to do the same thing. She might be able to do the same thing tonight. Definitely the one to beat. Chances to the 3, Red Stiletto. Chance again this week. Chased last week. Chased poor Xantippe home last week for the Quinella, and I think the old timer, Dewana Fernando, he's got some sort of chance. He's always putting himself in a race, and he's got a good record at Sandown Park. 1, 3 and 4. Rallying the quaddy off with the free-for-all tonight over the 5.15. It's a good race. And here I've taken 1, 8 and 7, sticking with my little champ Bagman. Beautifully drawn here. The 3's come out, making the field a tiny bit smaller. The top dogs are drawn out in 7 and 8. Vincent Barley sort of had one start back at Wagga after a let-up. And we know what a great dog he is. He just has got a great record at Sandown. He's had this spell, so he's had one start back. 8 and 4 from 20 here. Bagman, of course, has won 8 and 16 from 33. Very well boxed in the 1. I think he might be able to find the lead tonight and be hard to beat. Always runs an honest race, whatever he's in. And Dr. Asher was pretty impressive last week. We did fancy it, but it's drawn out wider tonight, which is going to make the task a little bit more difficult than it had last week in the 3. But, yeah, he's certainly not a chance and is racing in very good form. So good luck and good punting. I did like, I'm going to take a trifecta, a box trifecta in race 2 as our best bet, David. A little exotic tonight. 1, 2 and 7, box them up, see if we can get the try home early on in the meeting. So good luck and good punting, and I'll continue down back into the symposium for the afternoon, David, to learn some things I probably don't know.
Excellent, Brownie. We'll pass on our best to everybody there across in Queensland. I know you're going to have a wonderful time. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us, Brownie, and enjoy Saturday night.
Good on you, mate. Thanks, David.
There we have it, the Hall of Famer Neil Brown joining us this morning here on Great Greys, where it's now 22 minutes away from 11 o'clock, and our first for broadcast, Murwillumbah, some 7 minutes away now. Unfortunately, no Sean Matheson today. He's on a plane up to Queensland. Has left us, though, with his tips for tonight there at Angle Park. Race 1, number 2, Rupees Rocket. Race 5, number 7, Zipping Rove. Race 12, number 1, That Smile. Murray Bridge Friday. Race 4, number 2, Ruby Rhea. Angle Park Saturday. Race 8, number 2, Bingo Queen. And Gawler Sunday. Race 8, number 3, Hometown. So in recap, Sean Matheson's tips tonight at Angle Park: 1, 2, 5, 7, 12, 1. Murray Bridge Friday, 4, 2. Angle Park Saturday, 8, 2. Then Gawler Sunday, 8, 3. Matty, how are we looking there for the first at Murwillumbah?
For Gavin.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great Greys.
And we round out the program with Simon Orchard having a look at all things New South Wales Greyhound racing. He can always also give us a bit of an update on what he thinks of the New South Wales sprint and distance chances for this upcoming Saturday night there at the Q2 Parklands. Hello, Simon.
Good afternoon, Shorty. G'day to your listeners as well, mate. We missed the plane to Brizzy by the sound of things, Shorty. The rest of the team of GRNSW are up there enjoying, well, hopefully, what's a great week ahead of the Nationals, but some of us are stuck at home doing the hard yards.
That is the truth, yeah. We lost the invite in the mail somewhere there, Simon. That's all right. The coalface is a busy place that we're used to being, so we'll keep toiling away. Hey, what about the New South Wales prospects up there? You go into both a sprint and distance with some pretty nice hopes.
Yeah, we do. Interesting, Shorty. We've obviously got Sooty Keeping going around in the sprint. I reckon she's our best chance on the night. I spoke to Steve Fitch this morning about Cumbria Jack, and I'll tell you what, we're stiff, aren't we, to be missing out on that guy representing us, because he's an absolute jet. Sooty Keeping, look, Group 1 winner already up there at the track earlier in the year, Flying Amy Victor. She's barely put a paw wrong. She's got a 4-win streak going. She won well last Thursday up there as well. So, look, she's certainly got a chance, but gee whiz, Cumbria Jack, Steve Fitch was so bullish this morning. He said 450 or whatever the odds were for Cumbria Jack was overs, and he reckons the dog, not necessarily going to win, but it's the best by length of the straight. So he was really confident, and look, even if he gets up, we're still going to claim him because he's obviously a New South Wales bred dog, and him and Sooty, we've got two pretty good pairs going into the sprint. Shorty, the distance race, look, Lady Wilson and Late Night News have sort of been jostling back and forth the last couple of months to see who's the better greyhound. I think they're both double figures, and they're not without a hope, but they're certainly probably rougher chances. And then in the straight, Logie Magic and Gets Laid Early, not making up the numbers by any stretch, but I think there's probably better greyhounds going around. So I think Sooty Keeping's certainly our best hope. boxed in 4. As I mentioned, she's pretty bulletproof early, and she's already got the job done up there in Queensland. So that's certainly holding her in good stead, mate.
Absolutely. All right, I'll handball across to your good self, and as you do each week, you can take us around the grounds with your key plays.
Yeah, Musselbrook today, if you want to have a play, 7-1 Sattler Lane. That's 7-1 at Musselbrook. Tonight at Dapto, Shorty, you can get some money in the first. 1-8 Out Express. And then the Silver Collar, it's a great race, and it's a preview for the Megastar heats, which will be next week, of course, the big Megastar final, September 11. But if you want to have a play tonight in the Silver Collar, how can you go past Taumina? Race 6, number 3, bulletproof early, and I think the track at Dapto, leader bias, is certainly going to suit her. So 6-3 at Dapto. Wenty Park, 2-3 Forged Iron, who's been missing the kick of late, but he's been pretty good under Mark Gatt. I like him, 2-3. And then 8-1 Consigliere. Jody and Andy Lord have a big opinion of this bloke. Can't wait to see him produce what he's capable of. So they're the best bets at Wenty Park tonight. If you want to have a play tomorrow, we've got the Bidgie Cup final and the Richmond $1 Million Chase finals. In the Bidgie Cup, race 7 at Wagga, number 2, Champ Lane, fastest qualified, box to perfection. Race 7, number 2 at Wagga tomorrow. And then at Richmond, I can't go past Summer Quinn. Race 8, number 6, absolutely bombed the start last week in the heats, but we know she's a first section record holder at the Q, so why not back her in to get that right? And if she can, I think she'll get a great run into the race. Race 8, number 6 at Richmond. And finally, Shorty, Saturday, one best bet at Wenty Park, 8-1 Sarabachi for Ruthie King. I think can lead and hopefully run him into the ground over the staying trip.
Magnificent. Race 8, number 1, Surabachi. And if you've missed any of those, you can head to the blog. I've jotted them all down there. We've got Musselbrook for today, race 7, number 1, Dapto, race 1, number 8, and race 6, number 3 tonight. Tomorrow at Wagga, race 7, number 2. Friday, Richmond, race 8, number 6, Summer Quinn. And, of course, Saturday night there, Wenty Park, race 8, number 1 in Surabachi. Outstanding work, Simon. Well, it'd be a pretty quiet environment that you're working in, given that it's been an absolute jog out the door for everyone to be up in Queensland. On the upside, at least you get your own space and a little bit of quiet time.
Yeah, sure do, Shorty. Mate, we're broadcasting actually into every $1 Million Chase heat and final, would you believe, throughout the series. So we started last week. So today, a light day for me, no on-air time. But other than that, we'll plug into the coverage every night. So make sure you tune in and watch the $1 Million Chase continue to progress as more and more qualifiers get their way through to the semi-finals. Top 3 from the Nationals also qualify too. So there's plenty on offer, lots of good races and lots of good greyhounds emerging, mate. Looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
That's all at thedogs.com.au. Tune in for all of Simon's magnificent work there. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate your time as always, mate. Have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to our chat next week.
All right, mate. There
we have it, Simon Orchard. Matty, I'll throw back to you. We'll take race number 1. And rounding out the program for today, I've had a good look at this Mandurah Thursday program for tonight. Come up with a few plays, starting with race 4, number 1, Full On Frankie. I love that draw with Sunset Viper giving it some assistance. It's race 4, number 1. In race 5, keen on the prospects of number 1, Big Girl Kiki, who's into a grade 4 race now, generally appreciates the inside. Not always great early, but really does muster into its races, and thought this was a pretty winnable assignment, so I'll go with race 5, number 1, Big Girl Kiki. And I note that it's been very well back, $3.80 into $2.80. So a couple there for Pete Brown to go race to race. Race 4, number 1, race 5, number 1. I'll then head to race 8 on the program and team up with greyhound number 2, Night Lighter. This greyhound's been flying at Northern, picket fence form, just absolutely levitating out of the lids. It's clearly the dog to beat. There is one danger. It's the dog that loves box number 8. They look a wonderful 1-2 play in the race, and I'll speak of number 8. Fancy that, Fred. So 2 on top, Night Lighter, 2 and 8 in all of your novelties there in race number 8. And rounding it out with race 10, greyhound number 8, Sunset Bonfire. This does not look to be a super strong race, and going off that placing going back a couple of starts ago, and some of its best work would see it hard to hold out here in a race number 10. Number 2 looks a good rove play there, all grunt in that race. It's pretty rare that it doesn't run top 4. So in recap, the plays for me tonight, race 4, number 1, race 5, number 1, race 8, number 2 with a 2 and 8 play, and bringing it home with race 10, number 8. And if you've missed any of those tips from our tipsters this morning here on Great Greys, in the next couple of hours, I'll have that uploaded onto the Tab Touch blog as well as across all of our social media channels. Big thanks to you, Matty, for all of your magnificent work as always this morning, as well as all of our guests, to Shane Train Williams, Patch Adams, Neil Brown and Simon Orchard, and to Sean Matheson. A big thanks to him for passing on his tips for all of the chasing. It's going to be a huge night there on Saturday night at the Q2 Parklands. All of the coverage right here on TAB Radio. We're cheering hard for the Sandgropers. Good luck to Shane Williams and also Paul Stewart with their runners, Iconic Jet and also Ironworks. Go WA. Thank you very much, Matty. Have a ripper Thursday, punters. We'll be back tomorrow morning between 9 and 10 live on TAB Radio. We're chasing winners, teaming up with Jesse Earnshaw and Peter O'Neill. And the Friday Funny and all the latest from Tab Touch from just after 6:30 with Digby and also TC tomorrow on the Sports Daily. All the best, Matty.